Welcome back, everybody. How you guys, girls doing today? I hope you're doing all great. Well, as you've seen from the intro, I guess you realized this video is going to be about RC boats. This is something of my passion. I enjoy everything RC, cars, boats, planes, etc. And I got my child into it, so we go out, we play. But in this video I'll talk about a couple of boats that we've been running as the fun. And the main purpose really of this video is about what kids can use and how they can use it, and what works and what doesn't, right? So I've got a couple of boats here that we've been running, and you'll see a few more shots of them going in the water. And I guess let's get into it, and we'll talk more specifically about the boats, the advantages, disadvantages of each, and what may suit, and which one I like more, and which one I think is a better one. So firstly, let's start with remote controls, right? And I think it is important. Some remote controls are better for the kids than others. The ones we have here, so the control with the trigger and the steering, they generally, I've noticed, tend to be a lot easier for the kids to use, rather than some controls which have like a joystick PlayStation setting. So especially for the smaller kids, they tend to be harder to use, purely because of the size of the controller. And I've noticed that these ones the kids tend to use a lot better. And both boats have the similar controllers, so and they all have their little additional buttons and functions, etc., right? And we'll get through them later on, right? But both comfortable to use, easy to use, and quite robust, right? And relatively light as well, so the kids don't get tired using them. So on the controller side, they're the same. Put them aside. Now let's get to the batteries. So the batteries, have two batteries, one for each boat. They look the same. They literally are the same batteries, right? They just have different plugs, which is good, so you don't mix them up. The running time, purely because this boat is a little bit faster, so the running time is shorter on this one. This one gets about 20-25 minutes of play time. This one probably gets about half an hour or so play time. That's basically what we've tested, and that's what we've been running. The charging time, couple hours give or take, and the batteries are charged, so not a big deal. I do have spare batteries from the other boats, etc. So especially if you're into it and you have multiple batteries, just keep a few batteries extra with you. Longer play time, much more fun. Or just get a power block. If you're going out for a day, get a fully charged power block. Once the batteries are down, plug them into the power block. A couple hours later, you've got another play time. Okay, so on the battery side, relatively the same, so no one wins. Now let's get to the boats and to the design. So this one, I got this one just purely because of the interesting design. This one is quite well designed. It only has one open bit on top, right? So, and that's where the battery goes. You don't see the engines, you don't see anything. I actually not sure what the engines are in here. I'm assuming they jet-propelled / water-propelled engines, but I might be wrong. But they seems to be inside, so they're inside these tubes here, and they're quite well covered, right? And that gives quite a significant advantage to this boat, right? Is especially if you have sort of muddy water, dusty water, or bits in the water, they don't get stuck. This one still goes through, right? And goes through quite well. So that's basically with this design. Talking about this boat, this is a standard design, so it has this propeller engine at the back and the controller turning bit Going to this one, the way it turns, it just runs one engine. So, excuse me, when you turn, there's actually only one engine running, and that's how it turns. Right, with this one, standard propeller engine, and more or less standard design on just about all the boats out there. So you've got the top opens up, you've got your engine, you've got your battery bay, and you've got the propeller thingy going. So nothing special in this boat, right? So in a way of sort of design and I think they're both good. They both have a relatively good design. This one is probably better in a way of sort of muddy water. This one obviously, and as you will see from the videos, better at speed. So let's just take a quick moment and look at some of them running and the speed, and you'll clearly see which one is faster. All right, so let's get into the video. Cool. So clearly on the speed side, this boat is the winner. Does go a lot faster than this one, but also slightly harder to control. Obviously the turning is faster, etc. Right? So for really young kids, that's probably not a good thing. This one would be better for younger kids. This one sort of for early teens, or sort of 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. Right, my son is 7. He was running both of them perfectly, but he said he was more comfortable with this one because this one was just still a bit tough to control. So probably 8, 9, and this is the boat to go for the speed, because speed is fun. Right, so now on another point, boats do flip, right? I mean, you turn them too fast, you hit the wave, you hit an obstacle, they do flip, and the flip recovery is important, especially if you don't want to get into the water while you're running them. And going to this one, there's basically none. So if this boat flips, my recommendation, and probably the only recommendation, is you need to get into the water and get it. That's it. With this one, however, what we found out, has quite a cool system. So it actually does flip back by itself. There's a button on the controller you push, and I'm assuming splits the water from this side, and it vibrates first, rolls from one side to another, and then just flips. And we've done a nice video on it, and we can see it right now.
Flipping over test. So now we will try. Oh, and it flipped, and now we can drive.
Cool. So you've seen the way the boat flips. Basically, there's nothing you need to do. There's just one button on the remote control that you push, and the boat flips itself back. We've tried it multiple times, and it works every time. So if you don't want to get into the water and you still want to have a lot of fun, this is the boats to go. I mean, they have probably the best, you know, flip recovery system that I've seen so far. There could be others out there, but from what we owned and what we've tried, this one is by far the best one. Now, to conclude, I guess what we can do is to say that both boats are great. You know, if I had to choose, I would obviously, for myself personally, I would go for the faster one. I'll probably go even faster. But as you know, playing with kids, having fun with your family, etc., it's hard to choose. If you're out there, and especially, you know, if you're in the water, you're playing with boats, etc., any of them will do. The only reason to go for this one is if, you know, you want to run it somewhere where in case of it flips, you don't want to get into the water. But I don't think there's a lot of circumstances like that. This one is, you know, faster, more fun. But again, consider the age of your children. Both boats are great. They both run well. They're both relatively easy to operate. This one is a little bit harder than this, but overall I think they do the job well, both of them. So I'm very happy with each one of them, and you know, we'll play a lot more with them, and you know, I'll probably get a few other ones to try out, but for now these two are going with us on the next holidays. So that's it for the video, I guess. I mean, if you like the video, give us a like, subscribe, and have a great day. But before you go, I'll put another video of us running the boats. So enjoy and have a great day. Take care. Bye.